Everyone, and welcome back. We are so very glad that you joined us for this, our second day of our Frederick Douglass Day celebration. As you may already know, this day, the 14th, the Day of Love, is the day that Frederick Douglass actually chose to celebrate his birthday. So, of course, we could not let this Douglass Day go by without actually having a whole list of fun ways for you to connect with and celebrate not just Frederick Douglass, but Black history. So we have a wonderful lineup for you today, including the premiere of the interview with the presidents of the Deltas Incorporated and the National Association of Colored Women, as we announced on Friday. We're really looking forward to being able to show you that. We're rescreening the video with Dr. Glover and the video with President Ambar, as well as a few surprises, including the most anticipated moment of the year. You know you've been waiting for it, the winners of the Douglass Day Cake Bake-Off. So today's schedule is shorter. We have a shorter amount of time. We're just going to be here from 2 to 3. We have fewer items and bits of information to share with you, but the crux of it is still the transcribing. So I'm going to now hand everything over to Dr. Jim Casey, who is the co-director. And I just want to remind everybody, the man who had the idea to resuscitate and bring vitality and life and new vigor back to Douglass Day. So without further ado, Dr. Jim Casey.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. And thanks, Denise. I think we can all agree this is such a collective effort. There's so many folks involved. Let's see if we can't get this underway today. So I'd just like to join Denise for a second in welcoming everybody to the second round of Douglass Day 2021. Here on Sunday, February 14th, 2021, we are celebrating the 203rd birthday of Frederick Douglass. So happy birthday, Frederick Douglass. Welcome everybody to the party. We're excited to dive in with you today. And we're particularly excited because we get to once again transcribe the papers of the late, great, legendary Mary Church Terrell over at the Library of Congress. And we've made some extraordinary progress transcribing her papers. Since Friday morning, you can see here, that we have 883 pages completed, 997 pages have been transcribed and are ready for folks to come and help review, and another 276 pages are already in progress. And so if you're doing the math, that means that we've now worked on more than 2,100 pages with about 2,190 left to go. So we're halfway there, and we're tremendously inspired and encouraged by this year's Douglass Day, like every year, that shows us how much collective action can change what these histories are and how we can access them. And so today, for our schedule, we're going to look something like this. We're going to share a number of additional speakers, as Denise mentioned, to join the already superstar lineup that we got to enjoy hearing on Friday's program. And I want to double down, share how excited we are to get to hear from the leadership of the organizations that have been so vital to preserving and expanding the legacies of Mary Church Tarot. And if you'd like to help support some of their work, we've got another opportunity for you. Please look at events.sankofa.com, where you can find the Women of Color and the Fight for the Vote calendar. A purchase of one of these calendars for $20 to help support their work to bring this material and history, and especially Black women's history, into classrooms in and around Washington, D.C. So please take a look at there. We want to especially thank the WNDC Educational Foundation, the Deltas, the Alphas, the NECWC, and many others for their support, both of today's event and for their ongoing work to share and preserve these histories for so many. And so I think today we're going to start by being able to hear from some of those folks.
Lift every voice, lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let all rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Hi, I'm Ray Langston, Mary Church Tarot's grandson. I'm glad to be here with my wife Jean, and we are pleased to have the opportunity to participate in this Frederick Douglass Day project. I want to say a little bit, first of all, that I was quite young when Mary Church Tarot, my grandmother was very active. And most of my time with her was spent during the summer here where we are right now in her summer home. This house was built right next door to Frederick Douglass's summer home at his request. But I go back to talk a little bit about my spending the summer here. She was quite active beyond women's rights and civil rights. In fact, she took a leadership role in the community and led a delegation to the state legislature here in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, and the state to make Highland Beach the first African American incorporated town in the state of Maryland. I got to spend the summers here, and I have to be honest, I spent the summers here most of the time because I had to walk the picket line with her, and so I used to go on Saturday mornings down to Heck's department store on 7th Street in Northwest Washington, and I would walk the picket lines with her for a few hours so I could get to go to the beach and get to come here with my friends. So that was probably why I felt I was contributing to her activism at that time. Since that time, I have subsequently spent 8 years as the mayor here in Highland Beach. And till today, I have maintained an active involvement in community affairs. During that period, Frederick Douglass's summer home became the Frederick Douglass Museum and Cultural Center, which Jean will tell you something about.
The Frederick Douglass Museum and Cultural Center, the former home of Frederick Douglass, which was completed in 1895, is on the National Registry of Historic Places by the Department of Interior. Frederick Douglass wanted to live there and spend summers there and look across the bay to where he was born a slave. The museum is now operating by appointment only, and we have a number of people who are serving on as tour guides, and I am the executive director of the Board of Trustees. It was through Mary Church Terrell's endeavor in 1895, after the death of Frederick Douglass, that she petitioned the school board in Washington, D.C. to start Frederick Douglass Day in his honor, which is February the 14th. And later, Carter G. Woodson made Frederick Douglass Day into Negro History Week. As a matter of learning about Mary Church Terrell, it was my honor and pleasure to be able to hear the stories told by her daughter, Phyllis Langston, Ray's mom. And sitting on the front porch of this house, I learned so much. Looking through her papers, her diaries, I found out that she met Frederick Douglass when she was a first-year student at Oberlin College. And she was able to attend the inauguration of President Garfield at the invitation of Blanche K. Bruce and his wife, who were good friends of her father's and of Frederick Douglass. We have the gift that was given to Frederick Douglass from Blanche K. Bruce, which is a cigar case. It was given to him on occasion of his marriage to Helen Pitts. A lot of information is available to people in the Oberlin Library, the Library of Congress.
Yeah, we donated a lot of material from her, and her diaries, a lot of her papers are on exhibit or can be researched at Oberlin College.
And recently we donated a number of items to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. for display purposes. We would like to say at this time,
Happy Frederick Douglass Day.
I am Beverly Evans Smith, National President and CEO for Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Happy Douglass Day.
I am Andrea Brooks Smith, the 30th President of the National Association of Colored Women's Clubs Incorporated. Happy Douglass Day.
The piece of that resonated with me, first of all, was the fact that she talks about the importance of understanding it not only in this country, but all over the civilized world. We are, in fact, today. I mean, think about the time she lived in, and they didn't really have a focus on the entire world. We are world citizens. And the fact that we need to focus on being world citizens is critically important and fits today's environment, especially with what we're seeing going on in the legislature and in the United States right now. The one that was most important to me, though, and the one that I think matters most, is the fact that she says we carefully have to consider what happens in the National Congress, in your state legislatures, and particularly in your city or town council. I live in Georgia. And Georgia, and paying attention to Georgia politics mattered greatly this year and really changed the course of what we're looking at. Had not, and I'm going to say this, had not Black women gotten so actively involved in what was happening in politics here, from Stacey Abrams to all the Greek letter organizations to all the Black women's organizations, the change that we needed to see would not have happened. I think the other thing that is most important is the fact that she talks about paying attention to your city and town. In Delta, we tell our SOARs all the time, all politics are local. All politics are local. It starts right there. We have to pay attention to local elections in our town, in our city, in our county, and so on. We have to make sure we are running for office locally, which is something we really push. We have to make sure we are getting appointments to commissions, committees that happen in their community, because those differences happen there. What happens in our local judiciary system, in our region, matters when it gets to making sure that they are upheld locally. So it makes a difference in terms of who they're. The fact that she saw that then and understands the importance of that now helps you to understand that Tara was so insightful, such a visionary, and such a strategist in terms of what she saw. From the time she got Delta to march in that suffragette march that first day, that they were as their first public act, to the message she gives us today is the same message we share with our members now. That's why that one to me is so critical.
I think one of the things that we're very reflective of with this passage of Mary Church Terrell is the fact of colored women played such a large role in our last national election, from the election of President Biden and Vice President Harris, to, as she mentioned, down in Georgia, where Georgia was flipped to blue for a state with a history of racism and divisiveness, a state that hadn't voted Democratic in a presidential election since the presidency of Bill Clinton. So this is what she was envisioning. She wanted us as colored women to realize our responsibility for our current political standards as well as our electoral process. And then she also wanted us to understand the impact of what happens when we live that responsibility, just like we did with this current national presidential election. But it goes beyond that, and we have to use that same momentum, and we have to mobilize the same way we did for the national election for our state and our local elections if we're going to effectuate true change in America and beyond.
I am Glenda Glover, and I am so honored to participate in any agenda that discusses Mary Church Terrell. I love the fact of the activists, the civil rights, the suffrage, and the fact that she's born in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. The passage where she talked about Black women being active in the voting process and the political process, that was my favorite. Well, it resonated because we have a duty to participate and make informed decisions. And because Black women are not just single issue voters, we look at the entire agenda and see, how does it affect us? How does it affect our families? How does it affect the issues that we are so concerned about? So, because we know, and she talked about just how Black women
has special interests in politics, and we had to be involved in the political structure. I think that was so important at the local level, at the state level, at the federal level, because it's women who are reshaping politics. There's women who are so underrepresented. There's women who have just been the backbone of our democracy and such a reliable voting bloc. It's a very special moment. It's a very inspirational moment. I mean, for every little Black girl, every little Indian girl, I mean, it is so important. They can see, if you can see it, you can be it. And so when they see Kamala Harris in this role, I mean, yes, Alpha Kappa Alpha is proud, but the Divine Nine is so proud. The HBCU world is proud. See what it means to see a person who started at Howard University, a prominent HBCU, and to now become Vice President of the United States. That says a lot for the caliber of people that's educated at historical Black colleges and universities. And I hope we can put to bed that argument about the value of HBCUs. I think people should be embarrassed to ever ask that question again, are HBCUs relevant? So I think it means all of that. It's all about HBCUs, all about the Divine Nine who organized across the country and came back and organized a second time for the Georgia vote. And all 9 organizations were involved. The 4 Black sororities, the 5 Black fraternities. We got together, we developed a strategy to get out the vote. And, you know, as nonprofits, we can't really say, you have to vote for this person. But we can tell you must exercise your right to vote. So that Get Out the Vote movement was so important across the country. And I have to say, we had a real impressive role in getting that vote out.
I'm Carmen Twillie Ambar, president of Oberlin College, and I'm honored to be a part of the 2021 Douglass Day celebration honoring Oberlin College alumna, class of 1884, Mary Church Terrell. Mary Church Terrell exercised great agency, authority, and boldness as one of our country's first Black women to earn a 4-year college degree. Mary went on to have a high-impact career in education and vast influence in civil rights, women's suffrage, and social justice. She truly typifies how one person changed the world in the true spirit of Oberlin College. Mary Church Terrell enjoyed a close relationship with Frederick Douglass and represented him at many major civil rights conferences. She implored that people grew to be men and women that would throw the weight of their influence on the side of justice. She contextualized being woke long before it was part of the modern lexicon, citing that she met wide-awake progressive women who were striving to accomplish something worthwhile. Most important, she challenged all of us to be better and to do better, even in difficult times and under challenging circumstances. Oberlin College is honored to share history with this incredible and courageous African-American woman. We are also honored to share a future where Mary Church Terrell has paved the way for an American society that is more fair and just thanks to her work. Happy Douglass Day.
President Ambar is a very, very hard act to follow, so I'm just going to reiterate her closing statements, which is Happy Douglass Day, and may we all have the grace to live in a world where people like the indomitable Mary Church Terrell has laid a path for us forward, how to think, how to be, and how to act. Thank you again to all of our fabulous presenters. We're getting ready to move into the next section, which is the more substantive part. This is the celebratory, the information part of the program, but we're getting ready to move into the transcribing. So if you're not in front of your computer, this would be a good time to grab some water, grab some tea because it's cold, and kind of get yourself ready. Of course, we're going to walk you through it and give you the support so you can be comfortable when you log on. And in order to take us into that next section, I'm going to ask Dr. Jim Carey to go ahead and take over.
Hello, everyone. We're going to hop over into the transcribing, starting with a tutorial that will help you learn how to get up and running, created by Justin Smith and other folks in just a moment. But first, we wanted just a few reminders to run past you. Perhaps, like many of us this weekend, you've gotten fascinated by the utterly extraordinary and interesting life of Mary Church Terrell. If that's the case, we encourage you to pick up Dr. Allison Parker's wonderful new biography, Unceasing Militant, out now from UNC Press. Take advantage now at uncpress.org of the discount code 01DAH40, and you get 40% off the purchase price. And we'll note that we heard in the past week it had been sold out and back ordered, but we hear now that there's copies back in stock and ready to ship to you immediately. So hop on over there. And perhaps during Friday's program, over the weekend, or sometime today, you've gotten bitten by the bug of transcribing. And if that's the case, then we can assure you that all of the Terrell materials are going to remain open and ready for us to work on them on the By the People platform today and until we finish reviewing and transcribing them. And we are excited to make that happen. We know that lots of folks are looking forward to holding future events. Many classes are going to be joining us in the coming week. If that's the case, please make sure to share what you find, what you learn, what really wows you at hashtag Douglas Day on both Twitter and Instagram, as well as please follow our account, douglasday.org, in part because in the next couple of weeks and months, we're going to be releasing extended footage that shares some more of the conversations that we had with the incredible lineup of speakers that we've gotten to hear a little bit from today. And finally, we want to make a final call for the inaugural Great Douglas Day Bake Off. Please send your entries in now by posting to Twitter or Instagram using hashtag Douglas Day or hashtag Great Douglas Day Bake Off. If you don't have email, please just, or excuse me, if you don't have social media on those platforms, please just email it to us at douglasday.org@gmail.com. We're going to be announcing the winners today at 3 p.m. We've got some incredible Douglas Day official collector's edition tote bags that we'll be making available. And so now I think we're going to pass it over to Justin Smith, who's going to lead us through a tutorial on By the People, the Library of Congress's transcription platform.
In this video, you will learn the following: how to access Mary Church Terrell's documents on By the People, how to find things to transcribe or review, what to expect going into the transcription or reviewing process, and how to transcribe or review. The first step is to access the site. You do not need an account in order to transcribe, although you may click Register in the top right corner if you wish to create one. Without an account, you will not be able to review transcriptions. The next step is to select a project to work on. For Douglas Day, we're focusing on A Life Illuminated in the Mary Church Terrell campaign. Once there, you can use the Not Started or In Progress filters to find documents that still need to be transcribed. Click on a document to see all of the pages within it, and then select one to open the transcription interface. Transcribe what you can into the white box on the right. Transcribe lines in the order they appear, and preserve line breaks by hitting Enter or Return at the end of a line. If you see multiple pages, transcribe the content in the order it appears and use two hard returns, Enter or Return keys, to divide the two pages. In general, transcribe the text in the way that it would make sense when read aloud. Press the question mark button above the document image in the transcription interface to see the available keystroke combinations. Click Save as you go to save your work in progress, and always save before you move from transcribing to tagging, reviewing, or moving to another page. Click Save and Submit for review when you are done transcribing and are ready to move on to the next page. Unregistered users will be prompted to submit a CAPTCHA when hitting Save. While transcribing, type exactly what appears on the document, preserving original spelling, punctuation, grammar, word order, and any page numbers or catalog letters or numbers. It is okay to make a best guess if you're unsure about something, as a reviewer will have a chance to look over your transcription before it is submitted. Access detailed instructions at any time by clicking Help at the top of any page. You can also see abbreviated instructions while transcribing by clicking Quick Tips below the image viewer. Registered volunteers can review other people's transcriptions. To start reviewing pages, select an item and click an image labeled Review, or filter the images by clicking the Needs Review filter. Note that you cannot review your own work. Read a page carefully and decide if the transcription looks correct. When a transcription is accurate and you do not need to make any changes, click the Accept button to mark the page as complete. However, if you need to make changes, start editing the page by clicking Edit. Do not make changes to the spelling, grammar, word order, or punctuation of the original document. Instead, correct any mistakes made by the transcriber or complete any words they could not read, which you can. Be sure to click Save periodically and then click Submit when you are done. The page will then need to be reviewed and approved by another volunteer. Some documents might be easier or more difficult to transcribe and review, so feel free to explore different documents until you find one that you feel comfortable with in terms of readability and how long you think it will take you to transcribe or review. See By the People's Help Center for more information. If you want more context about Terrell or her archives, visit the related links linked on the main Mary Church Terrell campaign page.
Okay, thanks so much, Justin, and all the folks who worked on those videos. They're so invaluable for helping us all get up and running. Just for a couple of quick reminders as you go off into transcribing, we will reconvene at 2:55 to sing happy birthday, to look at some highlights, to announce some cake winners. So right now we would invite you to hop over to crowd.loc.gov to find all of the stuff ready to transcribe. We'll also remind you that transcription is important, but so is reviewing, because we want to make sure that we're able to provide feedback and help improve each other's transcriptions. So if you're just getting started, think about maybe reviewing some documents. It's an easy way to sort of get up and running. If you need help at any point during the course of today, hop over to Twitter and post on #DouglasDay or at our account, or you can visit our website, douglasday.org, where we have a page with a button at the very top to give you help if anything comes up. Okay, great. Thanks so much. And we'll see you in about 20 or so minutes.
Let us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our God, and true to our land. We're gonna stay true till the victory is won. We're gonna win it every time. Gotta keep marching. You gotta keep marching. You gotta keep marching till the victory is won. Lift every voice.
Hey everybody across the world today, something is moving. Please don't get in the way. It's lifting spirits. The poor can feel its power. It's getting closer. This is no time to cower. Everybody.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it? Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Hey everybody across the world today, justice is calling for us to clear her way. She needs needs our voices. We need her cleansing hand, and we can do it. It's time to take a stand, everybody.
Another world is possible.
Another world.
Another world is needed. Another world is necessary.
Can you see it?
Can you see it?
Another world is possible.
Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Hey, everybody who fears oppressive powers, their time is coming. Their greed will bring them down. History is moving in a different way to a new thing, where all will have a say. Everybody.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed.
Hey, everybody.
Another world is necessary.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Hey, everybody across the world today, say sí se puede, and that means yes we can. And now Harambe, for some unity, let's work together for our equality. Everybody.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary.
I'm trying to tell
Can
you.
you see it? Another world is possible.
Yeah.
Another world is needed. Another world
We
is
got to
necessary.
see it.
Can you see it?
Another world is needed here right now, right now. And we got to have it.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed.
We got to have it.
Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it? Another world is possible. Another world is needed.
Lift every voice, voice. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing to the place for which our fathers sighed.
We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our wearies, God of our silent tears, thou who has brought us thus far on the way, thou who has by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we Rest our feet straight from the places, our God, where we met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our God, and true to our land. We're gonna stay true till the victory is won. We're gonna win it every time. Gotta keep marching. You gotta keep marching. You gotta keep marching till the victory is won. Lift every voice, across the world today, something is moving. Please don't get in the way. The poor can feel its power, it's getting closer. This is no time to cower. Everybody.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it? Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Hey everybody, across the world today, justice is calling for us to clear her way. She needs our voices, we need her cleansing hand, and we can do it. It's time to take a stand, everybody.
Another world is possible.
Another world.
Another world is needed. Another world is necessary.
Can you see it?
Can you see it?
Another world is possible.
Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Hey everybody who fears oppressive powers, their time is coming. Their greed will bring them down. History is moving in a different way to a new thing, where all will have a say. Everybody.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed.
Hey everybody.
Another world is necessary.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Hey everybody, across the world today, say si se puede, and that means yes we can. And now Harambe, for some unity, let's work together for our equality. Everybody.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary.
I'm trying to tell
Can
you.
you see it? Another world is possible.
Yeah.
Another world is needed. Another world
We
is
got to
necessary.
see it.
Can you see it?
Another world is needed here right now, and we got to have it.
Another world is possible. Another world is needed.
We got to have it.
Another world is necessary. Can you see it?
Another world is possible. Another world is needed. Another world is necessary. Can you see it? Another world is possible. Another world is needed.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of a bright star is cast. God of all years, God of our silence.
Okay, I think we're now getting close to the end of our round of Douglas Day for today. Thank you all. We can hear all of those keyboards clacking away. Lots of stuff being transcribed and reviewed. I think today we're going to be able to hear the wonderfully talented and always great to hear Clay Coleman lead us in yet one more round of Happy Birthday. And then we'll come back and we'll have the winners of the cake contest, some quick highlights and thank yous. I'm being told by production that Clay isn't here today, and so I think we'll fondly remember the great performance that he gave us of Happy Birthday on Friday. I'm not sure any of us are quite willing to play at his level of talent and just, I think, utter wow. So I think, barring that, then why don't we go ahead and move into the closing session. We have just a couple of highlights to share from our wonderful activity all weekend that we got to see and hear and learn from. It's been great being able to celebrate with everybody with the benefit of social media to bring us together in this social distance time. So thank you to everyone. And here we just have a few quick posts of folks who shared some great things over on social media. We really enjoy getting to hear from everybody. We particularly want to give a shout out to our colleague, Brandy, for the great photos coming over on social media, as well as the folks across the country. We'd love seeing your posts. Please continue to share as you transcribe using hashtag Douglas Day throughout the event. And now, without further ado, I'm going to be ready to announce the winners of our cake contest. And I will say that we were having a very heated conversation in the other Zoom room just a moment ago, to exaggerate, I suppose, a bit. And we decided that we were not going to be able to narrow the field down much smaller than the ones that I'm going to show you here on the next couple of slides. And so a couple of cakes that were posted by Dr. Katie Childs down at the University of Tennessee's group. They did an amazing job this year, both with their event, but also their cakes. So Katie and company will be getting your mailing addresses for some cakes to come over. Anna Lacey, who some of us know as maybe the most talented and accomplished baker among the Color Conventions Project, coming through there, as well as Chris baking his tres leches from out in Los Angeles. We've also had some amazing cakes coming from the University of Michigan, as well as some more from the University of Tennessee. That's sweet potato pound cake, particularly had a lot of us looking for recipes. So if you're out there, and we'd love both your mailing address and the recipe for that cake there. The last set of winners for folks here, even though some of them declined to show us the actual photo of it, Debbie Bridget, some folks from Tulsa had an amazing cake. I think that was our favorite quote cake of the year. We'll be reaching out to all of you by email to get your mailing addresses and be able to share a tote bag with you very soon. Oh, excuse me, we had two more. Nikisha, who was part of our team this year, working on the curriculum. She doesn't get to win because you can't win if you're part of the judging group, but an amazing King's cake. And Hannah, if you're out there, that's an amazing cake. We had to do a screenshot of the tweet, but folks should go and watch her video of actually carving out that actual design. It's kind of amazing. Okay, and I think we want to wrap up in just a moment. I'll let Denise take the mic for a moment to say some quick thank yous as we cycle out here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Casey. It's as Jim said, this is truly a collective effort, and it would not have been possible without the participation of just some of the people that you see listed here. And an incredible Herculean effort behind the scenes. Jenny Sassi, Kevin Winstead, Mark. There are just so many people, but we wanted to go ahead and take a moment to recognize the members of the CBDR, Center for Black Digital Research. Many of the people who are directly involved with production and creation and strategizing and thinking involved in Douglass Day are listed here. We want to reiterate how much we appreciate your work, your commitment, your dedication, your willingness to be flexible and to respond to things that change on a dime. We so very much appreciate you, and we cannot tell you thank you enough. You know that we're going to be calling on you next year, so don't be confused, because we are coming back again bigger and better than before next year. But thank you. Particular thank you to all of our panelists and participants, Oberlin College, which participated right from the amazing contribution of President Embar to the participation of Mr. Kenneth Grossi, our archivist panel. Your representation and your presence just meant so much. We could not have done this without you. The members of the Divine Nine from both the AKA and the Deltas, thank you again. The Langston family for taking the time and the effort to put together those videos and those pictures, all of which are on the long video. So remember, we're going to screen the full videos on our site and on our YouTube channel. So definitely remember, if you were intrigued by what you heard, cycle back and check it out, because we just didn't have the time to screen those videos in their entirety, but they're really, really amazing. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, what could possibly be said apart from a heartfelt thank you? The Congresswoman was so enthusiastic when we approached her. We were just so grateful that she took the time and had the interest in participating. But of course, this is a part of her longer history of advocating on behalf of Mary Church Terrell. So it wasn't surprised, but it was truly, truly an honor. Judy Tate with the excerpt from In the Parlor. We got some Twitter love from both you and from the actress who played Mary Church Terrell. Hope you guys are having a fabulous Sunday. Again, thank you so very much, Deacon Harmon, who's been riding with us from day one. I think she only hasn't shared the ecumenical blessing just one time in 5 years. And so again, thank you for your participation and for your willingness to bless us in the ways that you have. The Soul Sisters, who got a lot of Twitter love, who work we remain in awe, which is why we always have to have you featured. You bring such energy and such joy to our event every year. We cannot thank you enough. Dr. Lopez Matthews, Dr. Allison Parker, I've been fielding questions from people asking where they can get Unceasing Militant. I'm not surprised it's sold out, and I'm pretty much well sure it will sell out again. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, and in such a gracious and kind way that made the work that you do accessible to so many. Looking forward, I'm sure, to seeing a longer video on our site when those are ready. So we could go on and on and on, but right now, because we're already over time, I'm going to go ahead and hand this back over to Dr. Casey so that he can go ahead and begin to close us out.
Thanks, Denise. Just to reiterate some of our thanks from Friday, thank you to Lauren and Carlin for also riding with us through this really complicated program to set up this year. There were so many moving parts involved. We appreciate both you, all of your colleagues at the Library of Congress. We know there's many more people behind the scenes doing that invisible labor to make all of our fun activities happening. We also can't thank enough the folks from the WNDC Educational Foundation, the AKA, Delta, and NECWC groups, true sort of stewards of the lives and legacies of folks like Mary Church Terrell. We're honored to be able to celebrate this occasion together. We also want to again recognize the ARP of DC and WNDC for their direct support of our event today. It's a huge help. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We look forward to working together some more. We also want to thank again the folks at Penn State, the folks at Princeton, the University of Delaware, and beyond, who have put so much into this event to make it possible each and every year, but especially this year. We also again want to thank our colleagues at Dig Black, Center for Black Digital Research. Watch this space. We've got a lot in the works coming for you, both this year and in future years. We could spend another 4 hours talking about all of the contributions of the folks on this list. We really appreciate getting to learn and think and dream big, like things like Douglass Day together with the folks in this group. And we want to once again thank everybody for coming out on a Sunday afternoon, joining us, teaching, transcribing, organizing, baking, all of the above. This event truly only runs because other people show up, join us, contribute their energy, and make this possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done this year. We're going to continue to transcribe together. We'll keep an eye out. We'll see you on social media. We'll be there on Twitter and on Instagram, and look forward to more. We're also going to be looking forward to perhaps future Douglass Days. You may or may not recognize the book on your screen now, available for purchase, The Color Conventions Movement. We won't tell you officially what the programs are going to be for future Douglass Days, but we can suggest that if you were interested in some reading about the histories of Black activism, political organizing, and community building, you might pick this book up for $18 or so over at uncpress.org. And we will look forward to seeing you next year for Douglass Day 2021. I want to say thank you both to Denise and to the entire team on the backstage of the Zoom screen right now, especially for making this very, very difficult year possible, for celebrating Douglass Day with so many of you. We're grateful for all of your work. We know how important it has been for all of us to see this event happen once again this year. Thank you as well to Denise Berger, co-pilot and co-conspirator extraordinaire. Thanks to everybody, and we will sign off from here and see you next year. Thanks so much, everybody.
Douglass Day.
Happy Douglass Day.
Well done.
Hey everybody, across the world today, something is moving. Please don't get in the way. It's lifting spirits. The poor can feel its power. It's getting closer. This is no time to